Today's event amplifies the Indigenous narrative and recognizes its significance by providing a creative space and presentation platform for dialogue and performance art, and aims to provide a platform for Indigenous voices and perspectives to be heard and celebrated.
And so it is true, the Resilience Festival, I'm so grateful that it came along, because it did take away a lot. When COVID, the pandemic hit, everyone was expected to be hidden and secluded by themselves.
There's going to be food, there's going to be craftsmen. Come check everything out. And yeah, just enjoy your day, enjoy each other's company. And you know, if you got to pray, you got to feel the vibes, we're here for it. So big love. Masicho.
I especially want to thank the organizers for putting together this awesome event. We've had a lot of stress and a lot of worry, and I think it'll do okay.
During all of this, we worked around the COVID-19 restrictions and modified how we connect, pray, and share knowledge. We advocated and created new forms of tradition to accommodate the hospital's COVID-19 restrictions and our spiritual beliefs. In these ways, it is an example of the consulting and merging of two ways Hummingbird Experience intends to advocate for and consult on.
I was raised on the outside of my culture. My family have always impressed upon me the importance of my Ojibwe language. There's no denying that the 60s scoop and other deplorable conduct enacted by Canadians and their associates harm my people indescribably.
But you see, what happened along the way when I was younger is that I was told that I was a savage. I was told that I was a squaw. I was told all these different names, and I didn't understand what it meant, but I knew that it wasn't really welcome, and it wasn't really good for me. I couldn't understand why I was different and why these things were being pointed out about me. And so here I was, little hippie, and then I also learned that I was part Hungarian. I learned that I come from Lake Babine Nation and that I come from the Beaver clan. The reason I named it Marianne's Medicine is because of my grandmother, Marianne. Now, I was raised with her until I was about 2.
When I was growing up, I was taught that my mom had given me up because she wasn't able to be my mom, and that my dad was a bad guy who I should never talk to. I realized that you should not limit yourself to believing everything that you are told. I attended non-Indigenous public school. I grew up riding my bike through prairie bike paths beside a reserve of land allotted to the Tsuut'ina Nation. I believed that because I could see the reserve, and I could sneak through their fence, and I could hide in the tall grass, and view the wild horses through the chain links, that I was a part of their world. And as an adult, I've come to understand that I am not a part of the Tsuut'ina.
When I talk about the inner child work, that was one of the biggest journeys that I had ever taken in terms of my wellness, in terms of my scale chout.
The truth was taught to me from my family. They would not allow us to be fed any lies about the brutal and genocidal events of Canada's past. If history is written by the conquerors, then what hope did Indigenous people have in being heard and understood? It makes my heart sing to know that the world can be changed by the stories we now share with each other. What do you dream of in the wolf's hour of night? Of a time when we danced under the stars, when the buffalo roamed the plains, when your children were safe in their arms? What haunts you now and unsettles your dreams? Screams from the gutter and life lived mean, children drowned in a flood of bureaucracy, their ancestors' lands buried in concrete, their feet never to feel their Mother Earth's soft, gentle skin. I learned that other Indigenous people around the world had felt the same pain of colonization too. I escaped into books and absorbed thousands of voices telling me their own stories.
You know, we're still here. You know, we still go out on land. We still do the things we've been doing for thousands of years. You know, that's how our people got through so many hard times. And I know for my family that, you know, sometimes we laugh at, what the heck these guys laughing at? It's so important that whatever, eh? And let's get on with what we're going to do. Live, peace, Naksil. Thank you, my relatives.
And so I was super grateful to be given this gift of the flute. And finally, I'm home in the beautiful Nicola Valley, and I'm doing my best to learn my language and speak it proudly. I grew up amongst the Crees and the Blackfoot, and so these stories that I've carried, I like to share them. So as Indigenous people, we are storytellers, but we are also a four-part being: our body, our mind, our heart, and our emotions. A strong body, a strong mind, a strong heart gives us a strong spirit.
And I started to go out into the forest and I'd talk to the Creator and I'd say, you know, ancestors, just walk with me, just help me.
I've always known that I was adopted, and I know that both of my mothers love me unconditionally and that they have passed on their ways of knowing to me. Because of their teachings, I am able to do my best to prove to my daughter daily that mother's love will always be there for her. I feel like my friends and their families are my actual family. I want to share my love for those who continue to answer my calls when I ring them up for ancestral knowledge.
Blessed was incubated and put on life support the moment she was born. She had breathing tubes, feeding tubes, IVs, and all sorts of wires to monitor her heart and oxygen. Like in the case of my granddaughter, it is truly an enlightening and beautiful gift.
Their humor and laughter is instilled in our DNA as the beadwork of the Creator. The beauty and strength of our people shines brighter in every generation of people, writers, and artists. Show your style, cousins.
You could feel their joy and happiness through this instrument. So I encourage you to pick it up and try and connect to those stories.
Thank you for sharing, and I hope you have a beautiful day and keep on being beautiful and Indigenous.
And our youth are experiencing this to this day, is they experience racism in education. And racism comes in different forms. I have taken it upon myself to be a voice for our youth, because in the end, it is them. It is, they're the ones who have to pick up what we leave.
Our generation was the generation that was there, you know, when the residential school closed. And we were just kids. We were just kids when the residential school closed. So when it closed finally in 1978, all those children, you know, they had to have a place to go. Between 1972, when the government kicked the church out, until 78, all of our mothers were taken away from us because they had to go and cook for all the kids. All those poor little children had to have somebody feeding them 3 meals a day. Our mothers would leave at 5, they wouldn't get back till 7. You know, we hardly saw our mother. So I was raised by my dad. And I'm really love my mom, but I was raised by my dad. You know, there was more good in it than bad. But the bad, when it happened, it was tough, man. And I don't think we can sugarcoat it. I don't think, for lack of a better word, we should whitewash it. That happened, man. There was some stuff that happened.
I teach little ones and I teach older ones to keep the culture and history alive through the art, through the music, through the dance. Strong mind, a strong heart gives us a strong spirit. We can't see spirit, but spirit is still there, always with us, guiding us, helping us to grow. Our grandmothers and grandfathers never have left us. So this is what she taught me. Loretta English, my very first teacher, she said, move your feet and your body to the beat of the drum. So number 1, she taught me 3 steps. Number 1 is the beat. So use your knees, your arms, your shoulders, and your head. Knees, arms, shoulders, and your head. Step 2 is you move your feet, like pretend your feet are the drumsticks, and the earth is the drum. So tap your feet to that heartbeat drum. And then whatever you do to one side, make sure you balance it out and do it to the other side too. Okay? And then the last and final step, remember only 3 steps. Beat, feet, and air. So let's hop off the ground and give it your all. You have life, we are blessed with this day, so let us give thanks in our own special way.
have our next dance and perform another prayer for you. We believe that every dance is a prayer, and every footprint on the floor and the ground is us connecting with Creator and Mother Earth. We are dancing to open up our hearts and bring us together.
Wahampti Nakota from Treaty 6 territory with Nimni, Falls First Nation. I'm an Indigenous Sioux singer, here to give you guys some of that good medicine. Washtay, Shnish for having me.
Abuju Indinawi Makanitok, Ilai Gazanji, Shigwe, Indigenous Kajaganashimong, Yahe Wagia, Wichana Indigo, Wabanong Tutanawazi Bing and Dunji, Ningabianong, Kamalai and Danungum, Apajagomi Gwich Bizantawiyek. Greetings to all my relatives. My English name is Eli Gazan Rattlesnake. Mountain Eagle Boy is how the spirits know me, and I come from the east, Tutanawazi Bing, Valley River, Manitoba, Treaty 4. And today I live in the west, in Kemalai, which is the Squamish word for where I live in Vancouver. Thank you all so much for listening. We've been on a mission, a journey together, reconnecting to our culture, sharing that medicine, and culture is what saved us. That's what saved me. Our people have always been healing ourselves and each other in this way. We have to look at these hardships sometimes as blessings, because we don't know what the Creator was protecting us from down the road. You know, this dance is thousands and thousands of years old. There's different origin stories that go along with this. The Hopi people have one, the Taos Pueblo. The Navajo, I believe, were gifted that by the Pueblo people. But as Ojibwe people, we also have a story for this. It's a spiritual gift. Nanabuju is one of the first half men, half spirits, and one of his brothers wasn't like the other boys. He didn't run fast. He wasn't a hunter. He wasn't a fisherman. He loved creation so much that he went out into the woods and he created this dance to honor nature, honor creation, the Creator, the spirits, everything. There's spirits all around. That's what I've been taught, you know, down below, up above, in the mountains, in the water. I thank you all so much for listening. I thank my brothers. Let's hear from my brothers for coming. You know, and we're about all sorts of things, but land back, culture back, language back, ceremony back, all of that. We want to have ceremony on every corner. The same way we have churches everywhere, we want our people practicing our culture every day, everywhere.
You ready?
That essence of the elk, that power of the elk, that love of the elk speaks to you. We are an oral storytelling people. And through our stories, we keep our rich culture alive. The grain of wood in every piece of branch of every tree. Reminds us that we too have our own grain of wood. It is embedded in our fingerprints, reminding us to not be like the tree, perfect and straight, to be like the tree, growing in your own special way, moving and bending and looking like you're broken, but you're still growing. You're learning through all of your trials and tribulations.
I was able to touch, I was able to feel my culture, I was able to feel my ancestors, and I was able to bring healing into not only my life, but to others. These plant medicines are amazing.
I've seen you so sad and blue. I wish you knew that all the way through. How sweet you are. You shine like the stars, my inner child. I'm setting you free. Go chase your dream. Run wild. Fly high. My inner
And this one is a little harder. My mom was the 4th generation of her family to be made to go to residential schools. And I was just trying to encapsulate how it would feel and how it does feel. I'm the 1st generation of my family to not attend one. Father in sin. Did you see me alone with my legs pulled up tight? Did you even hear me as I cried alone so many nights? All you ever said to me was, shh, be a good girl, it'll be all right. You and your church that broke me and my will to fight. You are the blessed one in God's holy light. You kneel. I've sucked on you for too long, and it's left a bitter taste in my mouth that still sears my soul. Now, I've stretched my legs out, and I've stood with such a pride, a kind that you can never know. I have ran free, and I've felt the summer breeze in my hair, and I've pulled down stars from the heavens to be my guard. I've found a safe place to pray out in the wild, wall-less, without your dark secrets and fears. And one day the walls you hide behind will block you in, and all the tears of my past will drown you, O Father in sin.
So my son will be acting as Satya, which is raven, Satya in our language. And right over here is Siklep. That's coyote. Okay? And then my grandchildren here who will be listening to the story. Stipdakwa is our way of gathering people together in the evening, just to sort of unwind after a long day, to talk about what went on, to teach and learn new things, to teach lessons. What did we learn today and what are we going to do instead of that tomorrow? They asked us, the organizers, to talk about what is our call to action after being here. What am I going to ask you people to do? And I think I'm going to ask you to think about Indigenous languages, how they're dying. Every day as we speak, languages are dying. As fluent elders pass away, we lose the words they know.
Remember that there is someone out there that cares about you.
I want to send that off to all of you and let them be free and wild and play and curious about this life. So just give her.
A little lesson to think about. She said the word defkalmo. Defkalmo. To us in our class, it is really a powerful word. Defkalmo means the people yet to come. And we must do the work for the people yet to come. Otherwise they won't have any. I want to think of my image, my little image. I want to learn for them, and I want to get other people to learn with me for the deaf Kalmu.
When we're out walking on our territory, we're mindful that we're literally walking on the blood and the bones of our ancestors, and so we carry that reverence. So it's all sacred to us. We view our relationship with the land as one of borrowing the land from future generations. And so all of the decisions that we make, we're supposed to look at the impact that it will have 7 generations ahead. And that's very different from how folks are living today. But you know, that's how we see it. And so it's a very different concept from the one that has come in the last 200 years with newcomers, the concept of human ownership of land.
Please come. It's for everyone. And the intertribal, now you know what to do. You step in time to the beat of the drum. Thank you.
But today we can come together and we can share the brilliance that we are, and we can share our culture, and we can share our healing with all of you. You will all be able to join us in this process, take part and find yourselves. I hope you take part and enjoy and find healing and enjoy all of what we have to offer.
And it's good to see so many people here. I'm very happy you guys got here, and that you go home wherever you come from, across the street or across the nation, that your travels home be safe. And somebody wants you home, whether it's your cat, your dog, or your kids. Somebody you need to feed or something. Anyway, let's have a good day, enjoy each other's company, and above all, never lose your sense of humor.